Special angles. So talking about angles 30 degrees and angles 60 degrees. Okay, you can do a check out on the lesson on angle 45 degrees. The link is just below. Okay, to do this we talk about an equilateral triangle, and you know all the angles are the same. So if all the angles are the same, means all the sides are the same. So for instance, we can just use 2. We assume 2 to be their various sides, equal size and equal angle. That is an equilateral triangle. But then if we should dissect this equilateral triangle, just watch this, dissect it, what are we going to have? So you see that this forms a 90 degrees angle here, right? So remember, here is 60 degrees from this diagram. Here as well is also 60 degrees, but then we've divided this, so it's now left, we are left with 30 on both sides, 30 degrees, because we just did cut them. So here is 2, right? We had 2 here as well, but then here is 1 and 1, because we've separated them, right? After dissecting them, we are left with 1 and 1. So if we are to redraw this, let's just put a diagram down here. Okay, let me just get this part, and just a moment. Okay, so this is 90, or has 60 here. I'm just taking one part of it. We had 30 here, so here we had 2, we have 1. So we need to find the height of this triangle, right? Just find the height of this triangle, and the height will give us the other side we are looking for. So already we have the hypotenuse, and as well the adjacent or opposite based on what you're looking for. So we have the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, right? So you're looking for the height. Let's solve for the height. I can use Pythagoras theorem to solve for the height, right? So using Pythagoras rule, okay, we'll have that 2 squared, which is hypotenuse squared, is equal to 1 squared plus, I can call this place w squared, I don't know it's right, or h squared, which is the height, but I just want to call it w squared. So from here, 2 squared is 4, which is 2 times 2 4, and 1 squared is just 1 plus w squared. Now I want to make w sort of formula. I want to isolate w. To do that, I have to collect like terms. So 1 minus 1, 4 minus 1 is equal to this one coming over here. 4 minus 1 is equal to w squared. 4 minus 1 is 3. So 3 is equal to w squared. What's the next step? Next step is to divide, is to take the square root of both sides. So square root of 3 is equal to square root of w squared, and then I'm left with root 3 is equal to w, because this and this goes away. So therefore w is equal to root 3. So it means what we actually needed here was root 3, and that's it. So we are done. Now let's solve for their various trigonometric ratios. Now you don't need to think about this, just derive them. If you understand how they have been gotten, I don't think you struggle with this. Okay, so let's solve for their various trigonometric ratio. I'm talking about the sine, the cos, the cosine, and the tangent. Okay, let's do that quickly. Okay, for the sine, since we have 2 now, remember the mnemonic SOHCAHTOA. We're going to be working with SOHCAHTOA. Let me just put it down here, SOHCAHTOA. So sine, we are going to solve for sine 30, and as well we are going to solve for sine 60. We'll solve for, okay, let's start from sine first. Sine is what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Here you can see it, opposite over hypotenuse. So let's do for sine 30. 30, since this is the reference angle, opposite of 30 is what? This is 1, that's the opposite, and the hypotenuse is what? 2. So we'll have 1 over 2. Let's check sine 60. Sine 60 is adjacent, sorry, opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is sort 3 over 2. Sine 60 is sort 3 over 2, and we don't need to do anything here again, since we have a a whole number as the denominator. Assuming we have a sword, we'll have to start multiplying both sides by that same sword, like multiplying by the numerator and denominator by that same sword. Okay, let's solve for cos. So cos 30 degrees and also cos 60 degrees. Just we're solving for two angles. Cos 30, cos is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's start from 30. Adjacent, not opposite, adjacent over hypotenuse. So 3 over 2. Now let's check cos 60. Cos 60 is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So 1 over 2. Now let's check for their tangents, their various tangents, right? So we'll have tan 30 degrees and then tan 60 degrees. So tan 30 is 2, opposite over adjacent. So what is opposite? Opposite of 30 is 1 over adjacent. So 1 over sod 3. But we can't have this. We can't have this. You know why? Because sods can't stay under. So we have to multiply both sides by that same sod. Let me use this other ink so that I can understand clearly. This is what we had, but we can't have it. So we are going to multiply both sides by sod 3. So let me get rid of this so that we can have this place can be clear. Don't worry, I'll get to write that again. So from here, 1 times sod 3 is sod 3 over sod 3 times sod 3 is just 3. That's 3 because 3 times 3 is 9. So square root of 9 is also 3. Now let's solve for tan 60 degrees. Tan 60 is what? Opposite sod 3 over 1. Opposite over adjacent. So opposite is sod 3 over adjacent is 1. Any number divided by 1 is that same number. So sod 3. So if you just take your time, you're going to figure out all this. It looks complex, but make sure you understand. If you had any difficulty, go through the lesson again and pause it, try to reason out things and understand. Don't just cram. If you cram it, you're going to struggle with this. I think that was the problem I had when I was trying to practice this when I was in high school. I was trying to cram it because I saw my teacher being so fast, but I just got a hack. Understand how you derive them and they become simple. So that's it. Let's go and solve some task. Okay, we'll have solve for the value of the unknown. Okay, so let's start from this first one. So here is 30. You know that because sum of angle in the triangle is 180 degrees. So we are solving for this, and this is the hypotenuse, right? Hypotenuse. For 60, this is the opposite. This is the opposite, right? Okay, for 60. But if you use 30, this is the adjacent. So I think I want to use 30, 60. Okay, anyone can work anyway. I want to use 60 because this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. So when we use Sokachua, we're looking for a value that can give us opposite and hypotenuse. That's sine, right? So let's say I want to solve here. Sine 60 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. So opposite is what? 3 over what? H. That's hypotenuse. Okay, y. Sorry, they used y. So let's use y. Okay, 3 over y. And then what is sine 60? Okay, let's just put up a small diagram here that will help us. This is 60 degrees, right? 30 degrees, and this is 90. So the height is sod 3. You had 2 here and you had 1. So 60 is what? 60 sine 60 is opposite over hypotenuse. So sod 3 over 2. So sod 3 over 2. Let's check in the calculation and be sure. Now we've solved for sine 60. What is sine 60? Sod 3 over 2. So we are correct. Sod 3 over 2. So from this point, you just have to cross multiply, and you have 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to y multiplied by sod 3. 3 multiplied by 2 is what? Is 6 is equal to sod 3y, or I can say y sod 3 is the same thing. So what we have to do is to divide both sides by sod 3. So 6 divided by sod 3 is equal to sod 3 y divided by sod 3. The sod 3 will cancel out and we are left with this. But then this cannot divide, right? So 6 divided by sod 3 cannot work. So we have to, because we have a sod at the denominator, we have to multiply both sides by that particular sod. So doing this, 6 times sod 3, 6 sod 3 over sod 3 times sod 3 is 3 is equal to y. Now 3 here is 1 and 3 here is 2. So we have 2 sod 3 is equal to y. And that's just it. So the value of y is what? 2 sod 3. That's just the value of y. Very simple. No, okay. I don't know, but not really simple. Not really simple. Just for you to pay attention to details, and if you do the right thing, you can figure it out. So I want to get rid of this and try using 30. So we had 2 sod 3 is equal to y when we solve with 60. Let's try 30. If you want to solve using 30, you know that this is the hypotenuse, but this is the adjacent for 30. So which of these has adjacent and hypotenuse? So that's cos, adjacent and hypotenuse. So we are going to say cos 30 degrees is equal to what? 3 over y is equal to that adjacent hypotenuse. And then what is cos 30? Let's check cos 30 here. Adjacent is sod 3 and over 2. So we're also having sod 3 over 2 again. See that if you do same thing, it's going to give, so cross multiply, going to have 3 times 2 again is equal to y times sod 3, and then is 6 equal to y sod 3. So whichever way will give you the answer, it's just that you understand it and do the right thing. Now but observe something. When we used 60, we've solved using sine because it was opposite and hypotenuse. But now we are using 30, we are using cos because it's no longer opposite and hypotenuse, it's adjacent and hypotenuse. So use the appropriate trigonometric ratio, and that's just it. So don't need to go further, the answer will still be the same thing. So use either ways, you will always get the right answer once you do the right thing. For question number 2, we have this is, remember this box, this is 90 degrees, this is 30, and this is 60. So whenever I see this box, remember 90 degrees because sum of angle in triangle sum up to 180 degrees. So we want to solve for w, right? Okay, w is the hypotenuse, that's the longest side in a triangle. Please, that might not be clear, but I want you to pay attention and look at this very well. W is the what? Hypotenuse. So for okay, let's use 30 time around. For 30, look at the opposite of 30, but that's not what we want. This is the adjacent, so let's work with the adjacent. So adjacent over hypotenuse is cos. Check your SOHCAHTOA. Adjacent hypotenuse is cos. So cos 30 degrees is equal to adjacent is what? 6 over w. 6 over w. I don't want to solve with 60, I want to solve with 30 this time around. You can as well solve with 60. We are going to arrive at same answer. So using the diagram we did before, what is cos 30? Let's go through that again, the sketch I did. Let's do that. Cos 30 is adjacent sod 3 over 2. Well, same thing we had last time. So sod 3 over 2 is cos 30, right? Yes, cos 30 sod 3 over 2. So cos 30 is equal to what? Sod 3 over 2. I hope you know how I got this. Okay, from here I can cross multiply. We'll have 6 multiplied by 2. This times this is equal to w multiplied by sod 3. 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. Is equal w multiplied by sod 3 is sod 3 w. You can also say w sod 3. Sod 3 w. I like to bring values before variables. So from here I can divide both sides using sod 3. So 12 divided by sod 3 is equal to sod 3 w over sod 3. So the sod 3 will cancel out, and then we'll have here 12 over sod 3 times sod 3 over sod 3 is equal to w. 12 times sod 3 is 12 sod 3 over 3 times 3 is 9, right? Is equal to w. Let's cancel out. 3 here is 3 and 3 here is 4. So we can actually have w as what? 4 sod 3 over 3 is equal to w. Okay, it looks complex, but not about the complexity. The beauty is in the fact that you understand this, like you know what you're solving for and you know how to get it, not just minding how rigorous the process is going to look or what. Understand it, solve for the right thing, And that's great. That's just cool. You can pause this video and go through this again to make sure you understand. Okay, we'll have an exercise. That's a task, yeah. Just 2 questions, and I know you can beat these questions. Do have a nice time. Do it to like, share, subscribe and comment. Join us next time.